Сейчас у нас будет мастер-класс от Татьяны Зариповой. Татьяна является кандидатом юридических наук, доцентом, руководителем сети тренинги прорывных компетенций, soft skill, руководитель Ericsson Coaching International в городе Казань, тренер-эксперт государственных программ, стратегическое управление талантами в Республике Татарстан, профессиональный коуч ICF,
So she's a professional business
сертифицированный карьерный
coach in
консультант,
ICF and
а также
certified
член
coach.
Совета директоров GCI Москвы. Поприветствуем Татьяну. Татьяна, здравствуйте.
Добрый день, коллеги. Я
Well,
попытаюсь
welcome.
сейчас запустить экран. Как видно? Видно ли мою презентацию, коллеги? Спасибо, друзья. Спасибо огромное за приглашение. И у меня, знаете, такой вызов на сегодня для меня, потому что 15 минут – самые полезные инструменты и самая полезная тема для вас, которую я хочу донести и поделиться. Итак, коучинг для бизнеса. Почему сейчас очень много запроса от лидеров команд, от лидеров бизнеса о том, что появилось какое-то новое мышление, которое помогает в условиях неопределенности, помогать справляться с новыми вызовами. Мы так неожиданно оказались в мире, который у нас наступил, вулкамир. Он, правда, привел нас с тем, что появился COVID-19, и мы понимали, что никто, ни один из специалистов не прогнозировал появление таких условий. И многие команды, многие бизнесы оказались, знаете, на такой точке невозврата. Либо они идут дальше огромными темпами, либо бизнес закрывался, и команды были расформированы. Что такое новый вуга-мир? И это мы понимаем, что огромные скорости изменений. Мы понимаем, что какие-то появляются новые процессы. Они точно непредсказуемые. Мир глобальных изменений. И в этом мире нужны лидеры новой формации. В этом мире нужны какие-то другие компетенции, чтобы просто вести за собой, очень быстро проектировать образ желаемого.
So that we could lead people, and these new competences just help us to overcome the challenges facing the teams. So these are competence of a new vision, this wider vision of the global visual and the understanding of what is happening at the times of uncertainty. So that's the realization of the human potential and the tools that can be employed in order to develop human potential, because developing human potential is a separate theme, and we'll later cover so the importance of it. So we as human beings, so just we have our lives, and then we leave, and then we realize that we have not fulfilled all the potential that is inherent in ourselves. So the next competence would be the clarity and the agile thinking, where am I clear about the outcome, am I clear about the goals, am I clear about our way to progress with the team. It's all about agility and flexibility and a swift reaction. So when you lead the team, you shouldn't freeze, you should try and move forward, because once you realize that there are new conditions that come into play and the goal has not been attained yet, you need to move forward and you need to make a breakthrough. And there is one good tool that will help you to master the skill of swift reaction, of clarity, broadening your understanding of the situation, and also bringing up the right vision of it. So these are the demands for leaders at the times of change. So that, and many people are asking us to help them make their business change. So we have many clients, the clients that are working with on the life coaching platforms, and true. So the transformation is swift and the changes are underway. So they come at a very fast pace. So my idea was how to take all that knowledge and make it to serve the business, how to help business change. But there is a great idea that we cannot change business. I mean, this business change implies a very quick transformation, but this doesn't happen overnight. I mean, if you want to really transform your business, you need to do it in a thorough way. It's like as if we take a butterfly or the whole evolution process when it starts from a very first stage and then developing into the butterfly. So this is all about coaching approach and the coaches and those coaching leaders that create conditions leading to the business transformation and the conditions that help raise your business at a new level. So transformation, what is all about? So I'm an expert in developing human capabilities and potential. So human potential is a key factor. So, but we need to try and use it as best as we can. So at the maximum, to the maximum extent. So that's just one case, a real life case I want to share with you. Just I was observing a situation where a children was falling and his father just did his best to save his life because he instantly became very strong and he pulled his child out of the wheels of the car so that just suddenly something helped the father pulled all his strength together and just did. So the same thing can be applied to ordinary life. Say, if we find ourselves in a stressful situation or if we're overloaded, so then we realize that we can do more than usual. So we start developing our potential and we are working at our best. And this is something that you can do with each and every employee in order to develop the potential at a corporate level. So now let's get to the practical side. I mean, these are the tips and how can we achieve it. And in fact, all this leadership, be it leadership in family or in business, so I started to observe and I moved from the position of the expert to the interviewing people. So I started with so-called strong questions, those questions that lead to transformation. I'll explain. For example, if you a CEO comes to an employee saying, okay, how are you? So you didn't do well on your KPIs. So then the business leader would say, then you need to focus on this or that component. So if you do it the next time, you'll be fine with your KPIs. And this is a very active engagement because when you look on the other side, so when you have an employee that is a passive worker, just doesn't want to do anything, he doesn't want to take an initiative, he knows that his boss will come to him and will tell him what to do next, so he just has no motivation to develop himself. And that, I think in that situation, so the reaction of the business leader should be different. So the business leader should just start questioning the employee like, okay, you didn't achieve the results and what could you do to do so? I mean, those are broad questions that try and expand your horizon and focus on those things that are important to you and that will come as the outcome of your professional efforts. And there are two more insights that I would like to share with you. So, in the first place, so we need to see to it that there are common goals and objectives within the corporate structure. I think the situation is common to you. You may have started a project, and then when you have a project underway, you need to set up a goal that would be common and shared by all the people. So this is something, it's not about the mission, so or some, for example, statements that they can find on the website. So these are not shared values, but shared values are important for employees to develop corporate motivation, because oftentimes leaders will try and implement a variety of incentives, be it financial incentives, training opportunities, because we believe that this training opportunities will help them grow in this some sort of carrot policy. So we'll just inject those benefits. But on the coaching side, we have this wonderful tool which is called four planning questions. So I'm going to explain what's all about. Once we start the project, once we gather the team to implement the project, and we start a session or a meeting, then question number one, what do you want? So we are trying to talk to each other, trying to see the optimal result, probably the end result that everyone can see, what will be this magic deliverable that we will get. So this is the team, and these are the things that unite the team, because results can be different, but the goal should be just uniting. Question number two, measurability. So once you get the result, how can you be sure that you have actually achieved that result? And then we move on to question number three, and this is a very critical point for developing motivation within your team and for increasing the level of their loyalty. So why is it important to me? Why do I want to join the team? Just explaining to oneself that there's something else, there's something bigger about the project. So once that bigger picture is clear, then you don't need any additional motivation for these people. So we'll move on to question number four. So action plan. What needs to be done in order to achieve the desired result? So, and this can take some time to come out to put together the strategy. So once we get that ideal result, then we can analyze the situation and see what has been done that helped us a lot. So these are the examples, and also a set of different questions that you can use as a tips in communicating with and working with your teams. So question number one, what were the priority tasks? What are the priority tasks today, and what's the ideal result of the project? So number two, the desired result. So if the desired result is achieved, why? How was it achieved? Number three, why is this result important to you? Why is this project so crucial? So, and number four, this follow-up actions and continuation of your efforts. So, and stage number three, so that's about developing motivation. So whenever we undertake a serious project and that employs a coaching tool, or probably a coach would suggest this kind of pyramid. So that's a coaching pyramid, and that's a very fascinating tool because it works real well, especially in the business sector. This gives us a structure for making the priority or the hierarchy of all the steps that we'll undertake. So then Dips was a prominent researcher, and when he started his project on this pyramid, he just explained that our mind is very complex, and we need to start from the bottom level, in order to get to the top. So whenever you have a project and you work with a company and you look at the strategic development, so it's true that you go step by step. So you start from the very basic level, so you look at the people and you look at their priorities, current priorities, and then we move on to actions. So we analyze what is done, so what are the competences that are available within your team to implement the project. Then you look at the strategy, then you move up next level, that would be values and convictions, and then something identity of the company. So that's why our company is unique, and what will be the value that we are going to create for our business partners or clients. And then, not only then, we are moving forward up to the mission level. So the mission, that's something that unites us, that is the common goal of the whole enterprise. So when we reach that level, we can ensure our stable performance, and whenever we see some changes in the strategy, in the environment, in the conditions, our work remains stable, because this is like a core that is always there and the company can rely upon. So once the pyramid exercise is completed, then we go from top to bottom, and then we try and translate this mission into each and every level below. So we just try to analyze and form a new perception of ourselves, so the way we feel ourselves, so the way we imagine ourselves, and then we move on to values and the principles and the actions. What are the principles behind our actions, and what are our competences? So if we have this bigger mission, probably our competences can be adjusted. So we move on from competences and strategies, and we reach the level of our conduct or actions. So this is the entire journey that leads us to the breakdown into separate actions. So those are defined, so we'll start thinking about resources, risks, and asking questions that will lead to concrete results. And this needs to be done today, now. So we have very quickly covered the two tools, and therefore I now suggest you look at two simple steps. So because we do realize that we live in a very tricky world and complicated situation, so we have these two simple steps in order to create and breathe this coaching thinking and these pyramids of logical thinking that can also transform your approach to project implementation. So you can reconfigure the whole start of your project. So and you can start tomorrow, like today, after all the master classes and the forum. So you can think about it, and then probably you can write and then share your experiences in our chat, GCI Russia. So question number one: what steps are you ready to undertake tomorrow to start the process of information? So will it be the specific steps or some persons that will be responsible for these first steps that will lead to business transformation? To conclude, you to realize that the world will never gonna be the same, so it will remain unstable and unpredictable to some extent. So, but we have great tools for transformation. This includes strong questions for planning questions and the planning pyramid. And I can take the responsibility for these two simple steps, the two steps that I can implement tomorrow. So the most important thing is that we can transform our businesses, we can transform ourselves only through the dialogue. So thank you very much for listening. And I did my best to do it within the time period that I was given. Yes, and you did great. So we received many questions for you, but I just singled out three of them. So question number one: who was the founder of coaching approach in the business, and probably some recommendations about the literature or
Спасибо,
books that
Георгий. Я с
can
радостью
be
посоветую два моих
studied.
любимых автора и
So there are two
родоначальники. Это Тимоти
authors,
Болви
so Timothy
и
Bowlby
его книгу «Работа как
and
внутренняя
his
игра.
book,
Раскрытие личностного
so the
потенциала».
work
Болви
is an
говорят, а вот
internal
это
drive.
тот человек,
So in
который
fact, he has
ввел
written
понятие
several
коучинга
books on this
в
topic,
бизнес.
because he's the
Он был
founder of
инструктором по
business
игре в гольф, и он
coaching
заметил, что на самом деле
concept.
наш
And
самый
just once
такой
he was playing
основной
golf,
противник– это
and
тот, который
then
сидит у
he
себя в голове. И
realized
он
that
ввел
your
понятие такая
biggest
внутренняя игра.
enemy is
И это про
someone that
самого
is
себя.
inside
И если
your
ты решаешь
mind.
задачу
So
самим
that's the
собой,
inner play.
тебе очень
In
просто работать
if
с
you
кем-то
can
другим.
cope with
А
yourself,
второй
then
его
it's very
ученик– это Джон
be
Уитмор,
easy
и
for you
он
to
как
work
раз
with other
расширил
people.
и усилил
General,
понятие
he is
внутреннего коучинга в бизнесе.
a
Внутренние
trainee,
силы
and
лидера.
he
Прям вот
amplified
советую
this
почитать.
concept
И
and this
третий,
the
наверное,
internal power
это
of
основательница
leadership. His
Эриксоновского
book is
университета,
highly
Эриксон
recommendable.
Коучинг Интернешнл,
Ericsson Coaching
представительством которого я руковожу,
International.
Мэрилин
So
Аткинсон,
I'm head of the
великолепнейшая,
representative
гениальнейшая
of this
женщина,
organization.
которая
So I'm talking about
как раз
Marilyn
дает основные
Atkinson.
инструменты
She is
для
the
расширения
third
видения.
author,
То, что
and he
важно для
provides
нас с
us
вами вот
with the
в
basic
настоящем
tools in
моменте.
order to broaden
Татьяна, спасибо
our
большое за
vision. So
вопрос.
something, these
Следующий.
are the essentials for us at the
Как
moment.
можно поставить
Next
проекты, чтобы
question.
повлиять на мотивацию сотрудника
So
через
what,
коучинг и
in what
подход?
way we can
Спасибо,
change the
Георгий. Вот то, что
motivation
я,
of
вот,
our
знаете, такими
employees
крупными
using the
мазками сегодня
coaching
говорила, для меня эта
approach?
тема является
Oh,
очень
this
такой актуальной.
topic
Я много
is
про
very
это говорю.
relevant to me,
Система
and
мотивации,
actually
мы
I
говорили,
do
что
lots of
внешняя, которую
presentations.
пытаются
We've
сделать
already mentioned
руководители
that there is
финансовой
an
особенно мотивации,
external
она работает,
motivation
это, знаете,
system,
как
and
такой
this very
стимул там, на месяц,
financial
на два.
incentives,
И
for
опять
example, they are
придумываешь
not
новую
very
пилюлю, которая позволит
durable
команде дальше
because
бежать.
they will help for
Коучинг
1 month,
позволяет
for
развивать
2 months.
ответственность и
So, but
осознанность,
they are different
которая
from
влияет на
coaching,
внутреннюю
because when you
мотивацию.
employ the
Ради чего
coaching
большего
techniques,
я
you
готов с
develop the
этим
sense
людьми
of
идти? Почему я
responsibility,
разделяю
the
миссию
sense of
компании?
loyalty,
А
that
это
people
только
start to
коучинговый
understand
подход
why do they
лидера и
want to
коучинга в
share
принципе
these
в
common values,
позиции,
why do they want to continue to
позиции
work
компании.
with these people
Потому
in the
что
company.
коучинг
So
позволяет
there's kind
наладить
of connection
другую
between
систему
employee and the
межличностной
company.
коммуникации
So this
между
coaching
сотрудниками.
technique
И это
helps
очень
you
эффективно.
to bring your communications to a new level,
За ответ.
and
И
this is
следующий
really
маленький
very
вопрос.
effective.
Сценарий.
Thank you very much
Повышается ли
for your
результативность и
reply.
эффективность
And my
сотрудников
final
после
question,
появления
so
лидера
will
коуча
be
и
there an
работы
increase in
приглашенного
the
коуча в команде?
effectiveness and the productivity
Спасибо
of
огромное,
employees after
Георгий. Да,
coaching
действительно так. И
trainers or
многие
after
компании сейчас,
coaches
знаете, их
intervention?
называют компании нового типа, бирюзовые
So yes,
компании,
yes, that's correct,
компании,
because
где
there's is
по-другому
even
выстроены
this new
подходы, где
type
есть
of companies,
горизонтальное
the
лидерство,
companies,
где
the
нет
so-called
иерархии. И
horizontal
у
companies.
всех
So they
компаний
don't have
внедрены
the strict
коучинговые подходы, и
hierarchical structure, but
практически
rather they
все
work on the
лидеры этой
horizontal
компании
basis.
коучи.
So they have
Это
leaders, and all those
настолько
leaders act as
влияет на не
coaches
просто на
within the
результативность,
company,
это влияет
and
на
this
такое
just
широкое
enhances
понимание
the
и на
performance, and
очень
it
быструю
also
эффективность.
broadens the
Очень быстро получается
understanding
достигание
and
результатов,
makes
и
it
они
very effective
невероятные.
within a
И
very
это все еще, знаете,
quick or
переоплетено
short
такой
period of time.
технологией и очень
So
большими
they're very
смыслами.
productive and
И это
also
очень интересно
meaningful,
наблюдать, как компания
and
начинает
it's
развиваться и
very
раскрываться
exciting to
после
observe
появления вот
the
этого
way the company
лидера-коуча,
progresses and
как
develops
появляется вот это
after
мышление коучинговое. Потому
coaches
что
come
коучинг
into play.
можно же не обязательно практиковать.
So
Это то,
coaching
как коучинг меняет
can
вашу
be
личную
used
жизнь. Это
as a
это
your
то, как коучинг
lifestyle. It's
влияет
something
на
that will
вашу
change your life. That's something
большой
that will
смысл и
impact
на большую ценность
on
вас
your
как
like
лидера. Это
greater
то, как
sense and
команда
your greater
начинает идти с
role as
вами.
a
Не
leader.
за вами, а
So
с
it's
вами.
about
Это очень
bringing your
важно.
team with you, not following you,
Татьяна,
but
спасибо
going
большое за
in
мастер-класс.
parallel, with
Очень
hand in
интересный и
hand.
важный
Thank
мастер-класс
you so
получился.
much for this
Спасибо
На
masterclass.
огромное,
It's
что
been
своем
very
пригласили.
опыте я понял, что
insightful
вот руководителям
and
организаций
exciting. So as far
предпринимательства
as I
себе,
understand,
я понял, что просто
for being a
необходим в
leader,
современном мире именно
being a
коуч
business leader,
наставник, да,
so a
потому что чтобы
coach is a
достигнуть
must
успеха в
for
бизнесе, это уже
every
прям необходимо. То
leader
есть совершить
nowadays.
квантовый
So it's
скачок,
like a
и именно
quantum leap
скачешь именно в
that
должности,
you
проходить с
can
коучем.
make, but
Да.
you will make it with the
Спасибо
help of a
огромное.
coach.
И да, и я всегда с радостью,
Yes,
во-первых, жду, конечно, в
you're
университете Эриксон Казань, и
correct,
я с
and
радостью работаю с командами
I
и
I
сопровождаю
also
людей для
taken
раскрытия их
part in the
потенциала и
academic
создаю
work in
максимальное
Kazan
среду для
University, and
руководителей бизнеса
I
для того,
deliver
чтобы
coaching courses
по-другому
for business
выстроить
leaders
вот это
to
взаимодействие,
help them
сформировать эту устойчивость в
transform
нашем
their
мире. Спасибо
communications and
огромное.
interactions
Спасибо.
within their company.